the days of yore, in a fine kingdom filled with an abundance of wealth and glory, resided a monarch who sat on his throne of pride. Macarios, son of the great king, was blessed with such knowledge and strength that he was thought to be one of the divine from the halls of Calumina, sent to the mortal world. But that same blessing unearthed a dreadful curse. As Macarios grew, so did his vigor. He shattered opposing enemies, slaying monsters, risking his life for the people of Plutocin. In return, they gave him their love. The people of Plutocin created temples and sacrifices. Macarios should have ceased these offerings, but his heart swelled with pride. Being praised and worshipped like a god had made him arrogant, boastful even. His arrogance and strength had been seen not only from the people, but from the divine as well. Worshipping Macario had made the people of Plutocin abandon the temples for the divine, leaving them to wither. Lumicius and Diov, the highest of all the divine, punished Macarios for his insolence. Diov's voice spoke from above. Macarios, son of Alexander, king of Plutocin, for your blasphemy and negligence against the divine, I sentence you and your people to divine retribution. Stone will consume the people of Plutocin, and the waves will swallow your kingdom. As for his highness, you will forever roam your sunken kingdom as a beast. For a king so arrogant, may your people always bow to you for eternity. Plutocin's waves grew higher, while the people inside screamed for mercy, only to be silenced from stone. As for Macarios, his skin formed into scales, legs becoming one, pupils turning into slits. He was no longer a man, but a serpent who haunted the oceans, devouring sailors who dared to sail across the violent seas. On the mountainside of a secluded village stood Cassandra at the edge of a cliff, surrounded by a riot of villagers shouting insults like demon, heathen, and witch. The mark on her wrist was only a birthmark, and she had only wanted to heal the poor man's daughter, but they saw her healing as witchcraft. She was condemned for blasphemy, a threat to the village. Orpheus, her fiancé, had tried to reason with the village, but their ears were muffled with the wicked words of his father. Orpheus's father accused her of witchcraft, spreading his corruption into the minds of the villagers so his son wouldn't marry a woman who harbored knowledge. Her existence, according to the village, was a stain to them and to the divine. The only way the gods would forgive them was with sacrifice, ridding the world of devilry. Cassandra fell into the chaotic depths of the ocean, causing an end to her story as human. However, her story ends on land, but not in the sea. A monstrous creature emerged, wrapping its claws around the sinking girl. The serpent roared, questioning her trespassing. His jaw opened, prepared to devour Cassandra, but his livid eyes caught the sight of the same birthmark that had tossed her away. Instead of ending her life, the tyrant serpent carried Cassandra away from drowning and swam to his oceanic kingdom. Cassandra awoke from her unconscious state, resting on seagrass. A necklace that allowed her to breathe underwater sat on her neckline. In front of Cassandra there stood a beast. He commanded Cassandra to create a potion and return his beastly form back into human skin. If she failed to produce the potion, he would seal her away until her flesh rotted to bone. She accepted his demand, but on one condition. The sea serpent would need to help her gather materials, since she could not swim far. Although displeased with the idea of working for a mortal, he agreed to her terms. Every day, the serpent would swim out to retrieve the items needed for the potion. Each concoction resulted in failure. Nonetheless, over time, a friendship bloomed between the two. Years of being trapped under the sea, the serpent's observations were an excuse to converse with Cassandra. The idea of the potion slowly faded from his mind, and companionship came to view. Eventually, Cassandra had earned the trust of the serpent, discovering that Macarios was the cursed king. Above the calm waves was Cassandra's fiancé, Orpheus, mourning his beloved, until a strike of bright light deprived him of sleep. Lumicius appeared in front of a bewildered man, revealing that the sea did not end her, but a monster was holding her captive. Lumicius granted him a blessing of strength, and explained to the young man that if he killed the beast, he would have Cassandra back and be generously rewarded by the divine. The young man did not hesitate, instantly agreeing to Lumicius's request. In the submerged perched castle, Cassandra and Makarios were once again working on a meaningless potion until a ruckus from above disturbed their tranquil moment. Makarios swam to the surface, spotting the ship of people. He paid no mind to the ship, turning away to swim back to Cassandra. A flash of movement crossed his eyes, a sharp sting grazing his shoulder. Makarios whipped his head back, seeing the villagers with spears and arrows. The calm vanished, replaced by rage. Insulted by their foolishness, Makarios attacked, summoning wild waves to drown the crew. But Orpheus, holding power bestowed by the divine, launched an arrow straight through Makarios' heart. He roared in pain, blood spewing from his wounds. Makarios once again sank into the bottom of the ocean, never to rise to the surface again. Cassandra witnessed the assassination of her friend, crying out an agonizing scream. She swam to Makarios' body, weeping for him. The blood of Makarios drifted into the waters, merging with her. Grief ignited to fury. A sense of vengeance consumed her. On the ship, Orpheus called for Cassandra. The surface was no longer human, but a sea monster with disdain. The curse from the divine fused with Cassandra, sensing her wrath. Orpheus was stunned, seeing his beloved become a monster he could not bring himself to strike. Cassandra took it as weakness and swung her claw, wrecking the ship. The men fell, just like Makarios did. The beast sank down to the sea, never to resurface from a world who betrayed both her and Makarios. Retribution was given, but her fury would never be quelled.